Now, seen just last week, the official Chopin Institute posted a trailer that depicted Chopin as this extroverted, charismatic French fellow, and I thought, that doesn't look quite right. So I'm going to tell the real story of one of the greatest piano composers to ever grace the earth. Now, born March 1st, 1810, Frédéric František Chopin was a Polish composer and virtuoso pianist of the Romantic period. Now, if you don't know what any of those words mean, I don't either. Now, born with absolute pitch, Chopin was born into a family with artistic roots. His father, a French émigré, was a tutor for high-class aristocratic families, and his mother was a Polish noblewoman who together with Mikołaj had 4 children: Ludwika, Isabella, Amelia, and of course Frederick. Now, at the age of 6, Chopin had already harnessed the gift of music, with many historians arguing that he already superseded KSI's full musical abilities. And just a year later, Chopin started piano lessons under the guidance of 61-year-old Czech-born pianist Wojciech Zevny. And while most children at age 7 are figuring out what color the sky is, Chopin wrote his first piece, Polonaise in G minor, that the Russian Grand Duke Constantine asked his military band to play. He set the standard clear: we are not the same. And just a year later after that, at the age of 8, he was invited to play at private soirées, a type of French gathering. Now, not long after that, Chopin found himself in the presence of Tsar Alexander I, that undoubtedly skyrocketed his draft stock to the #1 pick.
Hello, sir. You've been drafted to fight China with us.
Nah, I'm good.
Now, clearly seeing his potential, his family eager to invest enrolled a young 16-year-old Chopin into the newly founded Warsaw Conservatory of Music. Now, by sheer coincidence, the school was directed by Polish composer Józef Elsner, to whom Chopin had already ties with studying music theory. And not to be confused with EDP 445, Elsner saw the raw potential a young Chopin had. You see, although traditional training of a fast food employee is essential that every pianist must go through, Elsner thought it'd be blasphemous for Chopin's individual imagination to be blocked purely by academic demands. And so with this in mind, Chopin was put through the conservatory from 1826 to 1829, studying theory, composition, and most importantly, nourishing his own individual talent. Now, despite this grand environment, Chopin needed some experience not confined to just the school. And so in 1828, Chopin visited Vienna and made his debut in 1829. Now, with his second concert under his belt, Chopin did not slow down like Frank Ocean.
What's up, guys? Good evening and shit.
Instead choosing to double down by hitting an 11 in blackjack. And so at the age of 20, he wrote Piano Concerto No. 2 in F minor in 1829 and Piano Concerto No. 1 in E minor in 1830. Now, around the same time period, Chopin's first etudes were first being released, like Prime Polo G. Now, in October of 1830, there was news that the Polish uprising against Russian command had failed, and so unable to return to Poland, in 1831 he settled in Paris, and that became his new home. Now, Paris is not exactly foreign to Chopin, as his father, who was French, had settled there many years before, and so whether to fit into the new French culture, or just because it sounded cooler, Frédéric František Chopin became Frédéric François Chopin, the name that is most recognizable today. Now, in Paris, Chopin quickly established ties with many other Polish émigrés, and this included a younger generation of composers, including Franz Liszt, Vincenzo Bellini, and Felix Mendelssohn. Now, Chopin was a quiet man, not like how his trailer depicted him, and so though a shy performer who rarely gave public concerts, he gained wide recognition and earned a living through private teaching and publishing his compositions. Now, unlike many of his contemporaries, Chopin focused almost exclusively on the piano. Now, his works that included nocturnes, etudes, waltzes, ballades, and impromptus broke new grounds in terms of harmony, rhythm, and emotional depth, exceeding that of even Jojo Siwa.
I don't want her to see me cry. This is so embarrassing.
Chopin was rolling in it. This financial independence allowed his love for teaching and composing to grow, while not depending on concert performances financially, something that he absolutely hated. Now, with his elegant manners, innate sensitivity, and stupendous dress sense, Chopin found himself a favorite in the great houses of Paris, both as a recitalist and a teacher. Now in 1835, Chopin began publishing even more new works, notably Ballade in G minor and Fantasie Impromptu. You see, while Chopin was great with music and everything, he was also great with women, and so following a failed engagement to Maria Wojenska in 1836, Chopin did not give up. Now it was here that he developed one of his most important relationships with the novelist Aurore Dupin, with whom he spent several years with. Their time together, especially at her estate in Nohant, marked one of the most productive periods of Chopin's career. Now in this time period, he notably released several important works, the 24 Preludes Opus 28, which include the famous Raindrop Prelude, and important pieces as Nocturnes Opus 27 and Piano Sonata No. 2, and of course Runaway. Now despite this large output of music, his health continued to decline more than the 1929 stock market. You see, Chopin likely suffered from chronic pulmonary tuberculosis, chronic meaning persisting a long time or recurring back into his life. Now Chopin likely contracted tuberculosis in his early teens, but was not officially diagnosed all the way until 1838 at age 29. Now his health dramatically declined in Majorca, Spain, leading to severe illness characterized by cough, fever, and chest pain, which doctors finally confirmed the diagnosis as tuberculosis. Now, Dupin did her best to take care of him during their long, complex relationship. Every summer, Dupin took him back to Nohant for fresh air and relaxation, and was a devoted nurse during his ill health. Now, Chopin produced some of his final works here: Fantasie in F minor in 1841, Sonata in B minor in 1844, Barcarolle in F sharp major Opus 60 in 1846, and Polonaise Fantasie in 1846. Now, unfortunately at this point, Chopin and Dupin's relationship became more tense than a back massage, and so following an argument fueled by the relationship with Dupin's daughter Solange in 1847, the couple broke up. And just 2 years later, in 1849, Frédéric Chopin's health could not bear the weight, and he died peacefully at age 39. Now, he made a prominent figurehead in the piano world, with an entire piano competition dedicated to his name in Warsaw, Poland, starting in 1927. Now, Chopin acquired a reputation of the highest order on the basis of the lowest amount of public appearances, a few more than 30 in the course of his lifetime. A man that changed piano. Well, did you enjoy that video? Want to see more? Please consider liking the video, as we're aiming for 5 likes. Yeah! One time for the one time, 10K. Let's get it.